السلام عليكم. الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور انفسنا ومن سيئات اعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له ونشهد ان لا اله الا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد ان محمدا عبده ورسوله ارسله بالحق بشيرا ونذيرا بين يدي الساعه من يطع الله ورسوله فقد رشد ومن يعصهما فانه لا يضر الا نفسه ولا يضر الله شيئا وقد قال الله تعالى في القرآن المجيد والفرقان الحميد بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون صدق الله العظيم. Go to the office. Sorry, we're having some technical difficulties with the speakers. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيد الأنبياء والمرسلين ونحن على ذلك من الشاهدين. We praise and glorify and thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for all of the bounties and all of the blessings that He has bestowed upon us. Thereafter, we send our salutations upon our beloved Prophet Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And we bear this fact in mind that everything that we do, if it is according to the lifestyle of Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, it is a sunnah. Anything else we do which is contradictory to that, that is a bid'ah, it is an innovation, and it will not be accepted by us from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Last but not least, we bear this fact in mind, that one day soon we will all stand in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to answer for our actions. We pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make all of our actions noble and decent so that we can be admitted into Jannah al-Firdaus. And we pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to save us from all of the hardships of the hereafter. Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen. My beloved brothers and my beloved sisters, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, as you are very well aware from the khutbah that our beloved esteemed colleague Imam Ishaq prayed last week, it is the most beautiful and blessed month of Rabiul Awwal. This is the month, as you all know, that Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he was born, and this is the month, as you all know, Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam passed away. He, as we all know, has been given many definitions, but the one that we all remember him by is وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَّا رَحْمَةً لِلْعَالَمِينَ. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said that we have not sent you, O Muhammad, except that you are a mercy for the entire mankind. Rahmatul lil Alameen means a mercy for the entire mankind. Alameen means all of the worlds. Yes? When we say all of the worlds, all of the realms, what do we actually mean? We mean this world. He's a rahmah for us in this world, if we follow his footsteps. And he is a rahmah for us on the day of judgment as well, when everyone will be looking at Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in fear, in awe, and no one will be able to take one step forward, one step back, one step to the left, one step to the right, without the intervention and the intercession of our beloved Prophet Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. I've explained this story to you in the past, whereby on the day of judgment, all of the prophets, they will be there, and they will be all nudging each other to ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to start the proceedings of the day of judgment. Those of you that are aware of this hadith that I explained to you in deep detail in the past, you will remember. And every prophet will encourage every other prophet, but every prophet will have an excuse for himself to not go forward and stand in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on that day. Ultimately, that duty and that responsibility will come down to our beloved Prophet Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And as you know, the short of it is he will bow down in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will ask him to raise and ask what he wishes, and Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam will say, "Oh Allah, please start the proceedings for the day of judgment," and that is when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will start. So yes, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam came last in the line of approximately 125,000 prophets, but in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he is the best. They say in English, don't they? Save the best for last. I'm sure you've heard me say, right? So there you go. So this is the rahmah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam that will be bestowed upon us. And we, again, although we are the last ummah, we are the last nation, from the line of all the prophets, we will be the ones that will be judged the first. So Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, we have that honor, and we have that prestige, and we have that dignity. But something that we need to understand is that we also have a huge responsibility. Yes? Ibn Qayyim Jawzi, he said, rahimahullah, he said that every breath that we get from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it is a blessing. And then he stopped for a second, and he said, you know what? It's not a blessing. It's a responsibility. Every breath that we take on this earth is a responsibility that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will ask us about on the day of judgment. That I gave you this breath, I gave you this breath, I gave you this breath. And I remember in the previous khutbah, I asked everyone, that does anybody know how many breaths you take in a day, in an hour, in a minute even? And no one could answer me. So we have been breathing non-stop. We stopped breathing for 2 minutes per day. We've been breathing non-stop for 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 years, but none of us can even say for sure how many breaths we even take in a minute. Doctors will say anywhere between 12, 14, 16, depending on your health, etc., etc., etc. But every single person is different. Can you imagine? But for every single breath, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will ask about on the day of judgment. if he so wishes. This is why Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, again, in his infinite mercy, being the rahmah that he is, that we keep talking about, he said, Allahumma hasibni hisabain yasira. That, oh Allah, on the day of judgment, when you judge me, judge us in a very light way, in a very informal way. Meaning that don't judge us, getting down to the nitty-gritty, every single breath taken, in, out, this, that. Take it in a very simplistic way so that we can, inshallah, survive the trials of that day. I've explained about this to you in the past in deep detail, and you all know how judgmental Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can be if He so wishes. But again, we know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Ghafoor. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Ghafir. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Ghafoor. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Ghaffar. These are all different types of forgiving. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is forgiving on a day-to-day basis. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is forgiving as is habitual to His persona. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Ghaffar, which is more forgiving than we can even begin to imagine. On the day of judgment, we start to see that. I'll explain to you about the love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that He created the concept of love. And the angels asked Him that, oh Allah, what are you going to do with this concept of rahmah, this concept of love that you have created? And He said that, oh my angels, I am going to distribute my rahmah. The angels asked Him, how are you going to distribute your rahmah? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, I am going to distribute it in such a way that 1% of my rahmah I'm going to send down to the earth. And this 1% will be imbued inside the hearts of every single one of my creation that exists on this earth. That includes mankind, animals, birds, fish, insects, you name it, all of the animals in the desert, all the animals in the jungle, all the animals in the forest. Top to bottom, 1% of rahmah. Love. You and I, the love that we have for our mothers, for our fathers, for our brothers, for our sisters, for our sons, for our daughters, all of that, all encompassed in one, all of the love that has ever existed on this earth and ever will until the day of judgment, that is 1%. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala then said to the angels, I will keep the other 99% of my rahmah, of my love, for the day of judgment, which then I will distribute to all of mankind, to help them along their way to Jummah and to save them from the fire of Jahannam. Now, I don't know about you, but for me, that is significant food for thought. 1% on this earth, from the day Adam alayhi salatu wasalam came down until the last day. That's all 1% between every single creature. You take out the love from every single creature that ever existed, that's 1%. 99% Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has kept for Himself, which He's going to use on the day of judgment. So forgive all of us, those of us that were maybe destined for the fire of Jahannam, to encourage us towards Jannah and Firdaus. My brothers and my sisters, this is the rahmah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is the rahmah that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam talks about. And he said, Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said this, he said that you want the love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you want my love, then you must follow my sunnah. You must follow my sunnah. One story that springs to mind, which is incredible when you think about it today, is the time, and I've explained this story to you before in the past, I'm sure, when Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam in the Battle of Uhud, he said to all of the companions, he said to them that bring me whatever you have, whatever materialistic goods you have, bring them to me. We're going to sell all of that off and then use that. Use those items if they're usable. And if not, then we're going to sell that and get the money for that. And with the money of that, we're going to buy arms so that we can do jihad against the kuffar. You know about Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala? You know about Umar radiallahu ta'ala? You know about their friendly competition that they used to always have? Umar radiallahu ta'ala, at that time he said, you know what? Abu Bakr beats me in every single competition that we have. This time today, I'm going to make sure I beat him. Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, go to your homes and get whatever you can and bring that back for jihad fi sabilillah. Umar radiallahu ta'ala rushed home nice and happy. He said, right, so I'm going to meet Umar, Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala. He got all of the possession that he could get hold of in his house, and he brought them back, which was a huge amount. Brothers and sisters, it was quite a substantial amount, it was a huge amount. He brought them back and he dumped them in front of Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said that, oh Umar, what have you brought and what have you left? And Umar radiallahu ta'ala, like a happy bunny, he said that I have brought half of everything that I own, and I've left half for my wife and my children. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, subhanallah, alhamdulillah, mashallah, and he did. By and by, Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala came after. He had with him a very small amount. In quantity, it was not even half of what Umar radiallahu ta'ala had brought. Yes. He brought it and he put it nicely in front of Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam looked at it. And he just looked at him and he asked that same simple question that, oh Abu Bakr, what have you brought and what have you left? And Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala, he replied, listen to this answer. He replied that I have brought everything that I own for you, O Rasulullah, and I have left the love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the love of His Prophet for my wife and children at home. This was his answer. Umar radiallahu ta'ala, he looked at Abu Bakr, and that's when he said on that day, that's the day I made up my mind that I can never, ever beat Abu Bakr in terms of love for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam asked on a later occasion, he asked Asma radiallahu ta'ala, who was the daughter of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, younger sister of Aisha, who was his wife, as you know the family lineage anyway, I'm sure. He asked Asma that your dad said this. What did you see? And Asma radiallahu ta'ala, she said, oh beloved Prophet of Allah, it is true. I even saw my dad take all of the paintings and all of the rugs off the walls and comb the walls and take out the nails from the walls that were holding up the paintings and put them in that bag. And when I asked him that, oh Dad, why are you doing this for? And he said, oh Asma, you never know. Even this small nail may be used to help tie a tent when we're in jihad to hold the tent up. We don't know. SubhanAllah. Can you imagine? Think about this. His young daughter saying that he combed the walls in such a way he took literally all the little nails off the walls and he put them on that day for that purpose. This is, my brothers and sisters, what we call love for Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And the reason we need to love him that much is because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has ordered us to do so inside the Quran. إِن كُنتُمْ تُحِبُّونَ اللَّهَ فَاتَّبِعُونِي يُحْبِبْكُمُ اللَّهُ. If you truly say you love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then you must love me and abide by my sunnah. If you do so, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will love you truly, otherwise not. This is the verse we come. So my brothers and my sisters, with this on close, we can say that we love Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam as much as we want. Yeah, lip service is free, it's easy, doesn't cost a penny. But if we are not living the lifestyle of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam in its true essence, in its true form, then we cannot claim to be true followers of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So my dear brothers, my dear sisters, what I would suggest to you kindly, if I may, is this is the most beautiful month of Rabiul Awwal. If we do not know too much about our beloved Prophet Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, maybe throughout our lives we've been too busy in other worldly pursuits, whatever it may be, let us take the time now, right here, right now. Today's the 11th of Rabiul Awwal. Yes? Let us take the time right here, right now, to inshallah learn a bit more about Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Learn about where he came from, when he was born, where he lived, where he migrated to, and what he did when he migrated. The way he, all of the systems, you may not know this, but all of the systems that we have in place today, every single system that we have in place today is from Islam. It's from Islam. And I was talking to a sister, and she was the other day. She was saying, "Oh, my child credit and my child benefit has stopped." And by my we were just talking, and I explained to her, "Do you know where this child benefit started from? It started from the time of Umar radiallahu ta'ala." The story of which, again, I've explained to you in the past, when he went to the suburbs of that city and he heard that a woman who was in child labor just about to give birth, and she was screaming in pain, as you can imagine, and she was saying, "Oh, if Umar was here, he would have seen our plight. What kind of Amirul Mu'mineen is he? He's living nicely, plushly in Medina, and he doesn't know the situation of his people in the suburbs of his city, and we're in so much pain, we're hungry, we're thirsty, we're starving, and we're in this situation, and he doesn't have a clue." And you know the rest of the story. He rushed back, he went to the Baytul Mal, he went to the treasury, he brought back the food himself, he grabbed his wife on the way, she cooked, prepared some food for him, and he stayed outside the tent until the baby was born. And then when the husband came out and he said, they lived in the suburbs of the city, they didn't know what Umar radiallahu ta'ala looked like, they only had heard his name. And he was sitting next to him and he said, "You, sir, are such a wonderful person. I wish Umar radiallahu ta'ala was like this. This is who we need as an Amir al-Mu'mineen. If we had someone like you, we would have been sorted." And then that is when that spark came into Umar radiallahu ta'ala, and he made that decision that from this day on, any child that is ever born under my jurisdiction, I will make sure that they get a weekly stipulant. And Umar radiallahu ta'ala looked at him and he smiled and he said, "I want you to come back to the Baytul Mal tomorrow for your first payment, and when you do, I hope you will find me there. I am Umar." So that's where your child benefit comes from. So my dear brothers and my dear sisters, with that, inshallah, I will close. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us all the ability to understand, to acknowledge, and to appreciate the beauty of Islam, the true beauty. We have fallen far from the tree of grace. We pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He return us back to this. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us guidance. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide us. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept us. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless us. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive us. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the ability to act upon every single sunnah of our Habib Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam from this day forth, so that inshallah aziz we can enjoy Jannatul Adl, Jannatul Na'im, and Jannatul Firdaus. Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. وبالقول هذا استغفر لي ولكم لسائر المسلمين فاستغفروه انه هو الغفور الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا نبينا المرسلين ونحن على ذلك من الشاهدين. سبحان الله وبحمده سبحان الله العظيم. سبحان الله العظيم وبحمده ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على محمد عبدك ورسولك وصل على المؤمنين والمؤمنات والمسلمين والمسلمات الأحياء منهم والأموات إنك سميع مجيب قريب دعوات. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. Let us make this simple dua, the prayer of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Allahumma inna nas'aluka min kulli khayr ma sa'alaka min habibika nabiyyika Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, wa na'udhu bika min kulli shar ma sta'adaka min habibika nabiyyika Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, wa anta al-musta'an wa alayka al-balagh wa la hawla wa la quwwata illa billahi al-'aliyyil 'azim. Which essentially means, oh Allah, grant us every good that our beloved Prophet Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alayhi wa sallam asked for, and protect us from every evil that our beloved Prophet Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alayhi wa sallam asked to be saved from. Oh Allah, you are the guider, you are the assister, and you are the most loving, the most most caring, the most kind, and the most merciful. There is no power, there is no might except with you, O Allah, for you are the most wise and you are the most majestic. Amin ya Rabbal Alameen. ربنا تقبل منا انك انت السميع العليم وتب علينا انك انت التواب الرحيم. عباد الله رحمكم الله ان الله يامر بالعدل والاحسان وايتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون فاذكروني اذكركم واشكروا لي ولا تكفرون. استقيموا واعتصموا الله. Brothers and sisters, please start signing up for prayers. Inshallah, while you do that, we have our brothers and sisters come by collecting the donations. Brothers and sisters, please donate generously to the masjid. As you know, time is very, very tough. But that will allow brothers and sisters, we cannot continue the day-to-day runs of the masjid. So please, my brothers and my sisters, donate generously to the masjid. Jazakumullah. While you do that, inshallah, I will hand over to our president, Sister Bibi Rabia Fajr, and do my announcements. Over to you, Sister Rabia.
Brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum. Just a little reminder that the stores outside, if you buy anything out there, the proceeds goes towards the masjid, as does the shop. My brothers and sisters, last week I asked all of you if you could donate to building a house for a widow who had small children in Bangladesh. Alhamdulillah, 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 we managed to do that, and many of you who came forward, I was looking for 25 of you to give £100 each, and we managed to do that, and the house will be built for that family. I will update all of you on the progress of that house, but Jazakallah khair to all of you brothers and sisters who made that donation. The late Queen, Her Majesty the Queen's Green Canopy is a unique tree planting initiative. Organisations were nominated to receive a tree because of their positive work in the community. 18 community groups were selected, including LICS. LICS were awarded the tree, a silver birch, as a symbol of gratitude for our volunteers' efforts to help our diverse community, and as an inspiration for the next generation of tree planters. The tree is in the front of the masjid. Please have a look at it, because it is for all the work that everyone here does to help everybody, everyone in our community. Now, it will be planted in the ground soon, maybe about 3 weeks' time we will be planting that tree. And lastly, my brothers and sisters, join us on Sunday the 9th of October after Zuhr for a lecture on the life and times of our Holy Prophet Muhammad, on whom be peace. In the meantime, my brothers and sisters, if there is anyone that you know who we should be keeping in touch with, especially our elderly, then please let me have the details and we will keep in touch with them. There's so many of them who have not come out since the COVID, and nobody really looks at them. So if you do know of anyone, then please come and tell me. Jazakallah.
Jazakallah.
Dua request. Sister Nasifa Hannan, daughter of our late brother Hannan. Sister Faudia, the cousin of our sisters Bibi and Fazia, who is seriously ill. Brother Zahid, son of Uncle Siddiq, is also now at home after stay in hospital. Please make dua for them. Allah grant them and Brother Asif Nadeem has passed away last week. Relative Suhail Babush, please make dua for him. Allah grant him those who
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. قل يا أيها الكافرون لا أعبد ما تعبدون ولا أنتم عابدون ما أعبد ولا أنا عابد ما عبدتم ولا أنتم عابدون ما أعبد لكم دينكم ولي دين. الله. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. الله. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله. الله أكبر. الله. الله أكبر. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. Amen.